Never again. That's the promise now. Not to them, to yourself. You see, they used to whisper about you like a secret, like you were something sacred until you weren't. They praised you in private, then discarded you in public, laughed behind your back, watched you break, and called it entertainment. Never again. You showed up for people who vanished when you needed them. Gave them your heart. They studied it like a map, just to find where to cut deepest. And now they whisper again, but not with affection, with fear. You became the story they tell when they think no one's listening. They say you changed. They say you went cold. They say you became someone else. Of course you did. You became someone who survived them. And that's unforgivable to people who only know how to use. They whisper because you don't play along anymore. Because you're no longer the outcast they could pity. You became the exile who built a kingdom from silence. Never again will you beg to belong. Never again will you shrink to stay accepted. They whisper because they know what they did, and they pray you don't speak it out loud. But you don't have to. Your absence is louder than any confession. You were never the villain. You were just the only one who stayed real in a room full of masks. Let them tell their stories. Let them rewrite history. You know the truth, and the truth knows how to wait. Never again will you explain your worth. Never again will you bleed so others can stay clean. You weren't exiled, you evolved. They whisper now like they did before, but this time they whisper out of guilt, out of shame. They miss the old version of you. Of course they do. That version was easy to use. But that version is gone, buried beneath every betrayal they laughed about in secret. You don't hate them. You just see them clearly. Never again. Not because you're heartless, but because you're awake. And once you're awake, you stop dancing for people who applauded your pain. So, let them whisper. Let them lie. Let them ache. But you keep walking, with silence as your weapon, with truth as your shadow, with fire in your spine. Never again means this: they don't get to access you. They don't get to touch the person they once mocked. They don't get to watch you shine and call it luck. They had you. They lost you. And now, all they have is a whisper. Never again.